Hey everyone, so Baizhu has been out a couple hours now and this is what I think about him. Honestly, he's a good unit. He has a little bit of problems and I'll get into detail into it, but it's mainly just his energy recharge to tell you the truth. So this is my Baizhu here. He's using the R5 prototype Amber 4-piece deep wood. Now some players want to use 2-piece from the Dea set and then 2-piece tenacity. Now if he isn't your only Denjo unit in your team, I can understand that. This set is just too broken for Denjo comms and Denjo reaction, so you might as well just use it because I use it on Alhatum too and I have zero problems. And you're not gonna build him for damage anyway and his HP is already so high, so you know. Alright, so for the main stats here, Flowers, HP, Feather, Attack. Now with the Sands now, you could either go with HP or ER. It depends on your energy recharge. His burst costs 80, so I would recommend you using ER Sands if you don't have at least 200 energy if he's the only Denjo unit in the team, because you're gonna want his burst up. So I'm using ER Sands, I'm using HP Goblet, and I'm using HP Circlet. Constellation 0, talents 187. His skill has only one function, it's a tap. It can hit up to 3 enemies, it has a 10 seconds cooldown, and it has a massive party-wide heal. So my team here, Candice is at 0 health, Cookie took some damage, Baizhu is kinda low, you cast E, it hits the enemy, then it comes back. Now it's not an immediate heal, like casting something like Kokomi's Jellyfish, but it's a party-wide heal, so you have to take that into consideration. His burst costs 80 and it generates a little shield. Honestly, it's only there to prevent some stagger. And every time it's destroyed, it heals your active character every 2.5 seconds. It lasts for 14 seconds and it has a cooldown of 20 seconds. Unless you have his 5-star weapon, I would recommend the prototype Amber over every other weapon. Unless if you're struggling with energy, then you could use the Favonius. Or if you want to do some very big damage with your main DPS, you could use the TTDS. Now with the prototype Amber, he gets back some energy. At R5, it's 6 energy every 2 seconds for 6 seconds, and it heals the entire party for 6% HP every 2 seconds for this duration. Baizhu gains different effects according to the current HP of your current active characters. When their HP is less than 50%, Baizhu gains 20% healing bonus. When their HP is equal to or more than 50%, Baizhu gains 25% Denjo damage bonus. Now this was his main seller to me. Characters who are healed by Seamless Shield will gain the Year of Verdant Favor effect. Each 1000 max HP that Baizhu possesses that does not exceed 50,000 will increase the Burning Bloom, Hyper Bloom, and Burst reaction damage dealt by these characters by 2%, while the Aggravate and Spread reaction damage dealt by these characters will be increased by 0.8%. This effect lasts 6 seconds. Now, I've done a lot of testing and I know everyone is comparing it to Nahida. Honestly, it falls off a little short from Nahida, and Nahida burst costs way less and generates a lot more energy, but it's still something because you remember he's a good healer. If you're using Baizhu, it doesn't feel like he could die if he's on field. Now coming to his playstyle, you could run him in 2 different ways. His off-field Denjo application isn't the best. Honestly, maybe Yao Yao is better with her E and her Q. But with her Q, she has to be on field. But his Denjo application is very bad. Like, if you're using him off field for Hyper Bloom, you're gonna struggle a lot. Now for on field, honestly, I think that if you're using him as a driver, he might be unkillable. I've went against a ton of bosses just using his E and his burst. And if you can maintain his burst up, like with the energy that I have here, he will always go around half HP and go right back up to full HP. Now obviously if you just leave him sitting there, he'll die. But if you add a little bit of dodges here and there, I'm sure he's gonna be like a Kokomi 2.0 when her burst is up. Now let's test out his buff. Right, so Cookie Shinobu, her Hyper Bloom does 31,000 without his buff. And with his buff, she does 35,000. She can only take advantage of that buff when she is on field. Now if we compare with Nahida, without her burst, she does the same amount. With her burst or field, it doesn't get the buff as well. But when Cookie is on field, her damage is 34,000. Now of course, you could run both Nahida and Baizhu together and create a very, very strong reaction. It's almost 50,000. Just know that the character needs to be on field to take advantage of the buff. How does he work with Burst? Honestly, it's very good and it's fun with this team comp that I have. You can use double hydro with Toma and Baizhu for Burjan reaction. I notice like with certain reactions like Hyper Bloom and Burjan, the increase is sometimes a little more than Nahida's. So depending on certain team comp, you could see that his off-field Dendro cannot keep up. So if I do something like this, I say I want to put an X reaction into it, it's not as good as with him being on-field. So that's one thing you have to take into consideration with him. His off-field Dendro application isn't the best, depending on which characters you use. But yeah, Baizhu I think is a really solid character. Once you could balance out his ER to keep his burst up, because his burst is amazing. It heals your active character for so much. It gives you a little bit of resistance against sometimes a one-shot skill from the enemy. It gives some interruption resistance as well. And for Nilo teams, the shield absorbs 250% Dendro damage. So her Oz won't really kill you that fast. And if you're pairing him with a character like Kokomi or Barbara, then I don't think that you will have any issues with that. Sadly, I don't have Nilo to test this, but I saw some gameplay and it looked very comfy. So yeah, that's Baizhu. He's not a multiple character, and if you have Nahida already, she fulfills the role of being the best Dendro unit in the game, Dendro buffer, Dendro applier, but he's the same case like Kokomi. Yes, some people are still delusional and thinking that Barbara is better than Kokomi. Good for you, sir, whatever that makes you sleep good at night. And they will say the same about Baizhu and compare him to Yao Yao, but I think that he's a better unit than Yao Yao. And obviously, if you try to compare him to the Archon of Dendro, he's not as good, but for support and as an on-field driver, he's maybe just a tier right below her. And in certain scenarios, as an on-field driver, he's maybe on par or even better than her. Because when he's on-field, it's very difficult to die once you can manage his energy properly. So yeah, what's your thoughts about Baizhu? Hit the like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.
In my sight, landing nowhere with the sight. Had to take her with me. She was tasty to my sight, so I had a couple bites. I'm offended that